What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another early morning in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And this morning in the BrewLab, as you can see, once again, I'm coming at you from the MTGA Tarkir Dragonstorm Early Access Streamer Event. I know, a bit of a mouthful, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank Wizards of the Coast once again for inviting me. As you can see from all these resources next to my face, I have essentially got unlimited gold and gems with which to showcase all of the new cards and mechanics from Tarkir Dragonstorm for you guys. So let's jump right into it, shall we? We just got off recording Is It Kata, which worked really nicely. Nice little undefeated run. Very proud of myself. Now we're going into something a little bit different, but definitely still firmly within the aggro side of the, of things. I'm gonna, the way I usually do, kind of get through the more aggressive decks early on, and then we'll move on to some more control-y, mid-rangey, combo-y stuff after that. So, what's up next? Boros tokens, and Boros goblins, and Boros battle monks. I'm going through all the Boroses again to see whether some of these new cards make the cut, and I think this one might be close. I put a bit of time in it last night. It was late. I was tired. I do admit. So who knows? Maybe now with a bit more testing, it'll either work out the kinks or get worse. Well, that's what this event is all about. So I'm trying to not play Convoke. This is also incidentally a rotation-proof deck for those of you who are interested in that already, even though we are a little bit away still. It doesn't hurt to start thinking about it just a little bit. If you were to craft this particular deck, you wouldn't have any troubles come rotation whatsoever. And we get to play a lot of new cards. So let's get through them quickly. The first one is Descendant of Storms, one that I think is going to end up seeing play in all sorts of different places. Very nice. You know, Savannah Lions is always just fine. 1 mana, 2/1. But then the upside is you can attack and endure. Endure is one of the new mechanics. It says you can either put a +1/+1 counter on it or make a 1/1 spirit creature token. In the case of this exact version of the deck, we're probably mostly going to be making the spirit token because we are out win conning with War Leader's Corpse triggers. So, the whole name of the game is to make as many freaking go as wide as humanly possible. So that's why I went for this instead of other 1-drops that we're used to seeing in these like low to the ground, go wide, borrow strategies. None of the gleeful demolitions or all of the little 1-drops that make artifacts to destroy with gleeful demolition. No. Here what we really want to be doing is going turn 1 Stadium Headliner, which is also a fantastic 1-drop for your Goblins deck. More on that in a future video, stay tuned. But the Stadium Headliner is a 1 mana 1/1 Goblin Warrior with Mobilize 1. Whenever it attacks, create a 1/1 red warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. So kind of very much like this Anim Pakal kind of a thing. And obviously they work really nicely together. More on that in a second. So if we can go turn 1 Headliner, turn 2 Voice of Victory, another phenomenal card from the new set. Also added extra little sugar on top, but opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So does this just immediately become like a better version of that Containment Priest, I want to say? Contain? No? Or maybe I just didn't have it in this collection. It was a big score card. Grand Abolisher. My apologies. Very similar text, right? But it's a 2/2. This is a 1/3. This just kind of sits there. This can actually swing. So, yeah, it might end up being like a cool sideboard piece as well, just for the extra line of text there. But in this list, we're really interested in the Mobilize 2, where you get 2 1/1s every time you are attacking. And it doesn't have to attack itself, which is, again, very much the same as Anim Pakal. Turn 3, Anim Pakal. Wow, you are just going crazy by that point, you know? And I like the option of like, okay, you don't have Pakal as a 3-drop. It's low enough to the ground, the way the algorithm works in Arena, like you're going to have one of these 3 drops almost always in your opening hand, and if not, you will draw it shortly after. So then, and any of them are great, right? As a turn 3 play, because if it's Caretaker's Talent, then next turn you will almost 100% guaranteed trigger the thing. If it's an Impakal, you will trigger it that turn because you will be attacking with something you either flashed in or played in earlier turns, and then Warleader's Call, the Anthem effect, and then setting you up for a more explosive turn 4. Like, it's freaking sweet. Other cards, no surprises. Resolute Reinforcements, just put more bodies on board, instant speed. But now we've got essentially 8 copies of Resolute Reinforcements, but this one's just way more versatile. You get to either make 2/1/1s, or the second mode is bananas in this deck. Get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So you can, swing, get all of your mobilize, triggers, your an Impakal triggers, and then wait for the opponent to block, and then the creature that they don't block, you just target with Frontline Rush and make it huge, and get in for the final. It's just like a really good combat trick, where either you're, doing more bodies on the board, which is what you want, or like I just said, just fantastic. And of course, case of the Gateway Express, in the interest of just making this as quickly as possible, get the game over. The Anthem effect, the removal, and then a couple of Shelter by Ghosts. This is early access, so keeping it a little bit lower, and then like the spice in the deck is just a couple copies of Song of Totentans off the top. When you're in that time of the game when we've been hit with the sweeper, all we have left is a Warleader's Call on the battlefield, and then you top deck a Song of Totentans. X's for pew, 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 all the little mice trigger the Warleader's Call and then swing in for the kill. That's the deck. Let's jump into some games. Mana base could definitely do with some work. I just kept everything very, very simple and clean there. Uro hits. Not entirely sure who you are, mate. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The only thing that would make this better is if I was on the play. Hello. This card's trippy. It's just like, always comes back to hand. We've had stuff like it. Most recent one was like a artifact creature thing. Ooh, I need to go and grab myself these lands. Okay, you know what? Before it's too late, just get that out of the way. It's a disgusting card that I just finished recording a video for. It's really, really busto. Fantastic hand. Opponent's going full Jeskai though. Makes sense with this lands situation. I mean, with this sleeves and the avatar choice. Sure. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus 7 plus 7. I think that's just GG. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Plus another 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. Well, I'll still do it. Why not? Kind of pretty much no matter what, pot and tans for the win next turn, so all good. Warlock. Alright. Pays the ward, I guess. And then do you swing? Don't think the 3 HP is going to be quite enough. And honestly, it would be even better if you just... Oh, there we go. Now you're going to get your trigger, but you left me with the headliner. That's potentially a very bad idea. I didn't talk about the second mode here. He just killed himself, no? Oh, no. Okay. Good game. Yeah. 4. Beep beep. Epic. No war leader's call needed. I was sick. The initial deck had the glimmer, the white glimmer as the card draw engine. Swapped that out with the caretakers because I found myself not triggering it enough. As soon as I had 1 or 2 war leaders calls in play, the creatures, the tokens were entering the battlefield too big to trigger the glimmer. So then I switched it to the caretakers, and it's just got a much better late game potential in a deck like this, where you can copy tokens, you can buff your tokens, and it'll trigger no matter what size the token is. So nice. No. Yeah. Third land. Come on, give me a land. I know you want to. Alright. Reanimation of some sort, usually. Ooh. Guess you're blocking the 2/1. That's new. These are just like the kind of decks that your brewmaster really enjoys. If you don't know that yet, it probably means you haven't been following the channel for that long. There's also another problem though. They tend to also be the ones that in like 2 weeks time I'm gonna be shooting, they're going, I hate this deck. That feels really, really broken to me. Like, we did nothing, like little uncommons, like one rare, like, okay, now whatever. Easy to play. It's not like complicated mechanics. You just put creatures, go face, and they synergize well amongst each other. And Nimpakal, oh, I love this card, I always have. And it never quite took off. We tried it in soldiers, we tried it in humans, we tried it in all, and it was, and then it just disappeared from the format. Maybe it's finally time for a 4 of an Impakal deck, now that we have this phenomenal 2-drop to curve into. And honestly, this combat trick, I mean, you just saw, that's 2 games in a row we've won because of it. How are we doing for time on this one? Perfect. Final match. And then we'll move on to the next one. These events, it's just like that moment when I load up and I empty all my decks from the previous early access and I have this clean slate and a whole new set, and it's just like, oh, the possibilities are endless. I feel like some sort of an explorer, or I guess a mathematician, or like a crypto miner. I'll try to explain what I mean. Like, you're attacking a pile of cards that have a not infinite amount of ways that they can be combined, considering the 4 per card and 60 card deck limits. There's only so many ways that these cards can be put together in a way that will create a deck that is good and new and interesting and actually like wins matches. And use like the aforementioned crypto mining software, or piece of hardware, it first solves the easier problems. So I go and grab the low-hanging fruit. They're like, obviously this card just immediately slots into that deck, and ta-da. Then as the easier decks are kind of solved, you slowly get to the harder ones and then eventually you've mined the whole pile of new cards, and you sit there waiting for the next set. And another amazing hand, missing a 1-drop, which might actually be the biggest problem in this list. I would love your thoughts. Like, ooh, do we have like another? That's interesting. Like playable 1-drop that goes wide kind of things. Okay, Grixis, dragons. No cut downs. Whew. Love early access for that. Please don't kill my voice of victory. And the cool thing is you can't during my turn because of what it says. So you have to do it now. Otherwise you can't counter a spell. Can't do jack once you've passed the turn. Okay, cool. Are you beholding? Yeah, thought so. Okay, so, that's a problem. See if we can catch him unawares. Nice. 5 mana available. These dragons tend to start around this point in terms of mana value. So this might be the deck that finally gets us. Creatures a little bit too big. I've gone a bit light on the removal options. Tarkir is making a huge comeback. Haven't noticed. It's unfortunately rotating because now is really its time to shine. Alright. Clever, this. Nice. Alright. I think we've probably, almost certainly lost this one. Just didn't quite go as nicely as the last one. You know, it sucks to have to say that when it's like... Yeah, one more land there would have been fantastic. Everything is a dragon, so he gets the cost reduction from all of them. It's the rules of engagement when it comes to this early access event. I have to allow the opponent to do his thing. This card is sick. Clever little chap with this card. I like that idea. Yeah. This is like a pretty cool sort of a fixed meat cook massacre. At least make my pain, you know, not too bad. Go X is 2, wipe the board, swing, and then I can concede. Because this is all each non-dragon. Everything is a dragon. Very nice, very nice. And then it just goes back into the graveyard. And then if you, you know, eventually you get just that 4 mana 4/4 flying with ward discard. Come on, you could have swung with more things there. I guess he's worried about a split up maybe. I'll let him do his alpha strike next turn. $17. Show me what you got, bro. Let's go. Full ham. I'll just cast... Ooh. I don't even know what this does. Phew. Oh, come on, man. Just swing. All the dragons. It's game over. Yeah. What did you do? Exact math? Could have swung with all those guys. Oh, exact C's. Wow. That was quick math, Capricorn. Alright, I can't leave it on a defeat. This video is going to go a little longer. Let's jump into game 4. Longer than usual. Yes. Europeans aren't awake yet. Lord Kaiju. Remember you from previous early accesses. Wish I had an untapped red for the headliner on one. That's okay. Up the beanstalk. Interesting. Teamer, analyst. Nice. Might be too slow though. So, do we sheltered the analyst or the spelunking? Or even better. Okay. So no, there was nothing being held up. Now we definitely get the full 3. Wow. Wow. I love it. All right. Love it. Gonna be hating it soon. That is gonna have to be it for this one, guys. Stats. Let's get some stats going here. Boop. There we go. You should be seeing those. So we went 3-1 here, and then 4-0 last night at one point. Took down Malone and Lord Kaiju again. You know, again, don't take these numbers very seriously. I was playing at like 4 in the morning last night. I just wanted, you know, interest of total honesty. Like, this was my first match with it. Then I changed. The initial versions had Arabella. It was just dreadful. And then when I finally took Arabella out, then this is the version where things started to, you know, I took out the all the various enduring cards. I had 3 and 3, and then this latest take has now been on a bit of a tear. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. Gonna just get rid of those and jump back into the deck with some very last final thoughts. This isn't a convoke deck. You can't put the convoke guy in here. You don't have enough hits. It's mostly enchantments and other things. So a completely different playstyle, and I like that. And the mana base, maybe with a bit more work, can even become a real asset. You know, get some creature lands in there. This is a very early version 1. Like, I could see this becoming really quite a broken archetype that is like the evolution of convoke. I initially also considered maybe some heroic reinforcements. There's plenty of new cards that we can try in this type of a thing. But frankly, initial testing, when I thought Arabella might be didn't because you can stack the triggers with your mobilize cards, but they just remove Arabella every single time. Like, it's just an immediate removal magnet. Might end up making a slightly different version of this with like ways to give Arabella haste other than Song of Tottentans. We'll keep working on it. But also with the sideboard, I can see this getting pretty spicy. We could go and bring in there's some cool new removal pieces that fits this archetype perfectly. Coordinated maneuver. You may see this in some other decks of mine during this event. It's like if you've gone wide, creature or planeswalker, so I love that. And then the versatility of enchantment. I wish it was artifact or enchantment. Would have just knocked it out of the park, but still a nice little sideboard piece. And then, you know, Elspeth, tokens, decks, but that ends up taking things into a more of a mid-rangey, you know, control-y build. I'm rambling at this point. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one with another fresh, early access Tarkir Dragonstorm streamer event brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.